You're at the Watchman Way. July 22nd, 2020. So President Trump had a press conference today. I talked to several people about it, to get their takes on what they thought. Pretty much universally, people thought that he was off, to say the least. President Trump was. Seemed very monotone. Not what we were maybe hoping for as far as what the topic was. But it had me thinking that something isn't right here. There was a lot of hype suggested by the tweets from JFK Jr., from JFK Jr.'s account. Things were going to be revealed. I mean, it was slanted, I think, to make us think that there were some big things coming. And it kind of, it referenced the 22nd a couple of times in a couple of different tweets. I'm wondering if, and the other thing is, the art of war. President Trump's a big fan. Act weak when you're really strong. Some of that kind of stuck out to me, that he was acting kind of almost, if not defeated, discouraged. That's kind of the take I picked up. Well, first of all, if you know President Trump at all, if he was feeling that way, if he was feeling defeated, he would have come across gung-ho. He would have come across more aggressively, because he wouldn't want to show that he was weak in any way, right? Especially if he was, because he understands the psychology in war. It makes me wonder if, as they're doing this press conference and through the rest of this week, and like I said, I think that they have already arrested some big names already. So what if, this was kind of a decoy, and, the deep state lets their guard down and they get hit hard, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, the big names. Just throwing it out there. Here's the bottom line for us, for the Watchmen. I've been saying now for a long time, because the dates are the hardest part of this. We know what's coming. First ever worldwide economic collapse, worldwide draining of the swamp, the exposure and eradication of satanic pedophiles. We know those things are coming. We know the greatest transfer of wealth in history is coming. We know man's greatest achievement of defeating this evil is coming. 1,000 years of peace and prosperity, man's greatest stage. Those are all things that are in the works. Anyone who's put in more than a few weeks of research understands all these things are happening. Especially if you've been doing this over the course of even just say the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, you can see a huge difference in not only the material that's coming out, but the reaction to the material by social media. again, even a month ago, you put up some of this stuff that we're putting up today about pedophilia, and it was gone. They'd remove it within minutes. Now it's not coming down, or very little of it's coming down. Much more of it's getting through and sticking. There is definitely a shift. Eventually, President Trump is going to seize the mainstream media and all social media. When is it going to happen? The timing is up to God. God is guiding and protecting President Trump. God is making these decisions. I mean, President Trump's giving the orders, but God is making the decisions. Just knowing that has to give us comfort. Especially when you've been at this since 2014. When I looked at what had to happen back then and the situation we were in, and at the time Obama was president and Hillary looked like she was going to be next, it was dire. It looked like it was going to be a rough road. I believe we were going to win, like God showed me, but if we went down that road, it was going to be brutal. Tens of millions of Americans were going to die, if not hundreds of millions. It wasn't going to be pretty. And look where we are now. This, I keep saying, I couldn't write a better script. More stuff comes out every day that adds to that positive vibe, the progress that's being made. One thing we have to get away from, and it kind of ticks me off a little bit, is the fair weather patriots. There are already people on social media saying they're abandoning President Trump, that he's, let us down and he's jumping ship and, he's wear mask, and President Trump is playing a role. He's been doing it since day one. Just look how he's flip-flopped on the economy. Before the election, we were in a huge bubble, which was the truth. After the election, everything's great. Now, obviously, he made some changes that really helped, but there was nothing going to change the economy coming down. He knew before the election the economy couldn't be saved. That part of his program was going to be to navigate us through the economic collapse / reset. What the American people need to understand is there's no plan B here. The only plan B we have is that if something were to happen to POTUS, military intelligence will never, ever return power to the globalists / liberals. They're, as we see now, they are 100% pure traitors, have been bought out by foreign entities and the Illuminati, globalists, deep state, Rothschild, Pacers, Rockefellers, the same people that own the Vatican, the same people that own the royal family, own 90% of the wealth in the world. That's the driving force. Those are the ones that have to come down. Those are the ones that control the puppet strings. The military will never allow those people to control the power of America. Military and nuclear capabilities will never be turned over to these people again. We dodged a bullet by having Obama driving the bus for 8 years. It didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Thank God. And again, it just goes to show you that God isn't going to not going to allow the world to be hijacked. Certainly not going to allow the biggest power in the world to be hijacked by these people. And there's no alternative here. So you say you're going to jump ship on President Trump. Where are you going to jump? To Biden? It's ridiculous for patriots to even talk that way. It's not conducive to what we need right now, which is unity, not division. We're going to do what we do as Americans. We pull together when things are tough, when we're in difficult situations. It's what we've done forever. Every time America has been up against it, we made it work. The Revolutionary War, slavery and the Civil War, the War of 1812, the First and the Second World War. We always find a way to get through it. It's got to do with our determination, with our values, with God. Don't think that God has a problem with America. I know there's a lot of preachers out there that want to claim that, and God's gonna bring his justice down on America. We did the job God wanted us to do. President Trump did the job God wanted him to do, defeating these satanic pedophiles, freeing the world from this evil. We can't get upset about the timing. The timing doesn't suit us. Time to cowboy up. Time to think about the big picture here. And I've said all along, guys, there's no one that wants this to end any more than me. But if it's going to take another 6 years, I'm in. There's no choice here. You either quit, just give up, walk away. That's not what we do here. Americans don't do that. Or we buck up. We dig in and we get through it. And think about this. The alternative, we're in a nuclear war with North Korea. Our government purposefully arms and then starts a nuclear war with North Korea. That was the plan. They were going to murder tens of millions of Americans at least. That's how they were going to get our guns. I think we still win this if that's the way it went, but just think of the cost and the devastation to our country. It would have taken years to rebuild. Now, yeah, we've got some economic problems that with Nasara, most of them are fixed or mitigated. It's looking like more and more like that's what's coming again, do your own research, but I mean, a lot of things seem slanted that way. We'll see. You know, if you're prepared, you have extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin, you're going to thrive through whatever comes. Nasara, awesome. You know, the pension funds are saved. No Nasara, just a reset, awesome. Litecoin and silver go through the roof. I mean, they're going to go through the roof when any of this happens. And that's the other thing. Don't even look at the prices until this breaks. The prices are creeping up with silver. It's awesome. You know, I mean, this might be the high for the last several years right now. We're at 23 something. It was 23.50 something earlier today. This is headed in the right direction. But we're not going to see those moonshots until this thing blows up, whatever that means. You know, whether it's the arrest, whether it's Nasara, whether it's the reset, whether it's a natural organic collapse. The system just comes down on its own. We've talked about that. That's going to happen eventually if nothing gets done. And President Trump understands that also. We're printing, to keep this thing afloat, we're printing $1 trillion a month. When I say printing, we're creating $1 trillion that's going into the system. It's not actually being printed, but it's money they're creating to go in the system, digital money. You know, and people want to think the economy's good because the stock market's up. It's buying the stock market up. That's the whole point of this thing. The $1 trillion is to keep people on board with everything's okay. It's not the reality. You can't pump $1 trillion into a fiat monetary system and not have devastation. Eventually, it happens every single time. You can't overprint a fiat currency. You get hyperinflation. Happened in Weimar, Germany, happened in Zimbabwe, happened in Venezuela a couple of years ago. Now it's happening in Zimbabwe again. You know, it was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it happened in Zimbabwe. But now it's back again. They didn't fix the problems. They got hyperinflation again. You see the pictures of, or the videos with guys with wheelbarrows full of cash buying a loaf of bread. That's hyperinflation. That's what happens when you overprint a fiat currency. And $1 trillion a month is overprinting. Trust me. We were overprinted a couple of years ago. And then the debt has just increased. And it's going through the roof now. You can't do it. You can't do it and expect to survive. So President Trump knows this. So there's kind of a timeline on this. We've got the election coming up. We've got hyperinflation in the future if we keep going. President Trump, we also have the deep state who wants to collapse the economy in September or October if given the opportunity. When I say given the opportunity, just allowing the economy to continue with the overprinting of money then would allow the deep state, the globalists, to collapse the economy in September, October, right before the election. The last thing in the world President Trump wants. That's one of the reasons why I think he can't let that happen. Now, I've been saying all along, it doesn't make any difference. If it does, he wins the election either way. The one issue is going to be the satanic pedophilia and when that comes out, because it should come out before the election. If it does, like I've been saying, he wins 90% of the vote. He wins the election even if it doesn't come out. When that is such a huge advantage politically, I just don't see him allowing that opportunity to pass him by and then putting the opportunity of collapsing the economy in the lap of the globalists. It doesn't make sense. Neither one makes any sense. So you're giving him a double advantage. You're not revealing, exposing the satanic pedophiles, and you're allowing them to collapse the economy. To their ideas, they need to collapse the economy. They need to get mail-in ballots. That's what they need to pull this off. It's not going to happen. They're not going to get mail-in ballots. Not going to happen. They're not going. They're not going to. Where was I? President Trump isn't going anywhere. Is the bottom line. Um, um, and we have to stay strong and united as we go through this. We can't be second guessing him, number one, and we can't be bickering amongst ourselves. It doesn't help our situation. We need to stay united. They want us bickering. You got to beware of these Soros / globalist back organizations. One of them I saw today was claiming to be Veterans United against President Trump, claiming that he's basically a traitor to America. It kind of sounds extreme to me than a veterans group when he's done more for veterans and our military than any president in the last 50 years, probably. And he's a traitor because what? It makes no sense. Because what? He told you to wear a mask because he's sticking to the plan. That's the other thing. This all is gamesmanship. It's a chess match. What he's angling for is they're going to come at him and say, we need to have mail-in ballots because, of the virus. Okay, well, wait a minute. The mask, if we've got the mask, we can still vote because, the mask protect us. So you say. That's what this is about. He's got to sell the mask to diffuse their push for the mail-in ballots. It makes me think that possibly he may not make any big name arrest. Again, that's just a possibility. Based on what I see, based on what I know, listen, this economy's coming down in 2020. The swamp's going to drain in 2020. The satanic pedophiles are going to be exposed in 2020. The biggest question today is, does it happen? Do those things happen before the election or after the election? Huge question. It makes a big difference in the election. Just, I think, President Trump, again, wins either way. It's closer if he doesn't make the arrest till after the elections, because I think that could, again, trigger the other issues with the economy collapsing on purpose by the globalist. It just puts us in a it gives them the best chance. Let's put it that way. There's no way they win this thing, but why give them anything? would be my point. The only reason, and this is a possibility, that he doesn't take them down is there's something else they hold that's potentially dangerous to Americans that he's holding back until they neutralize that, whatever that issue is. That's the only thing I could see that would cause him to let this thing go past the election. There has to be something else there. It makes no sense any other way. We'll see how it plays out, but remember, don't get discouraged. Don't bicker with other patriots. Now's the time, the most important time for us to be united. So let's be mindful of that as we move through this, whatever happens over the next few months. And expect the unexpected. I just do not see us cruising this way through the election. I just think there's big things coming. But we've got to be ready for anything. It's a possibility that this doesn't happen till the end of the year. It doesn't make any difference. It's happening. That's what we need to stay focused on. A member suggested, a lot of people are complaining that they're not getting their notifications on the live chats. First of all, it doesn't make any difference if you get a notification. I'm doing these every single night at 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, the other night, like, it was a half hour off. If there's an emergency, sometimes that'll vary. But if you look at the history, since we started, we've been pretty consistent, except for my stroke. We've been going pretty much every night for almost 2 years now, I guess, for live chats. So just go to the Watchman page and scroll down, and you're going to see the live chat there, and click on. The other thing is to go to the Watchman page, and you can click on the bell, the notification bell, that they'll notify you when this stuff comes up. I think maybe you have to follow, I guess, is what you have to do. Click on the follow option when you go to the Watchman page. And then they'll supposedly send you the notifications. Then you can click on that. It'll take you right to the chat. Yeah, I've just got here that this is going to happen on God's timeline. You know, we're just along for the ride, guys. God's going to decide when this goes down. The important thing to remember is that all of these things that we've been talking about, they're going on right now. We're in the middle of it. That's the encouraging thing to me. Yeah, I would have liked more to have happened at the press conference, but I see what's going on, so I'm not discouraged. There's progress being made every day. Focus on that. All my notes are so far just about, what we have to do. Pull together. Stay positive. Trust the plan. And let POTUS finish his job. I mean, to even suggest that we pull the plug after the first term is, well, it's not going to happen. Number one, God's already showed me President Trump serving 2 terms. So he's going to be here for a second term. This is easier if we're behind him as opposed to whining and complaining. That's not helping anything. And I think I kind of made the point, but there is absolutely no situation that could arise where the military would ever hand over the keys to the Democrats or the globalists, the deep state. Never going to happen. It's going to be somebody like President Trump or JFK Jr. or one of the Trump kids. If something were to happen to President Trump, and again, God showed me that President Trump is going to serve 2 terms. Not a hair in his head is going to be harmed. But just as you're thinking about these things and the possibilities, understand that it doesn't make any difference what the globalists want. And every day there's something new that people are all worked up about that's never going to happen. You know, the chips. Now they're talking about the chips that are going to be in the vaccine. Nobody's going to be forced to take the vaccine in America. Nobody. I don't think they're going to, that businesses are going to be allowed, like hospitals. I think he's going to cut it out. Just boom. You cannot, under any circumstances, require somebody to take a vaccine. For job, for that, not going to happen. Not in America. That's coming. I think we maybe going to see a nationwide constitutional carry executive order coming too. If this drags out, the civil unrest, it's going to happen for sure. President Trump is tired of seeing these, especially the women, drug out of cars and beaten by groups. Those are isolated events, but just the fact that they're happening is disgusting in America. I'll guarantee you, you get some mom who knows how to use their either their SIG P365 or Hellcat with 14 to 17 rounds, and see what happens when those guys drop like flies when they try to drag her out of the car. That's what's going to put it into this crap, is people shooting back. You know, let these animals come at you when you got, 40 or 50 rounds in your pocket and the right firearm. All of a sudden, these things are going to stop. Because these guys want easy targets. They don't want to get shot. And if it keeps going, you're going to see it. You're going to see it recorded. And it's going to put an end to it. A couple of times like that. They don't want any part of it. Their game is, the pack, right? I don't care how tough you are. If there's 30 guys, you better have a gun, because that's your only chance. You're not going to win that fight. I don't care who the hell you are, how tough you are. How shady shadow lenders are helping fuel the 1.6 trillion student loan crisis. So basically, some of these predatory lenders, and they're working in cahoots with the colleges and the universities. 35% is what they're charging some of these families for student loans. Think about that. To get a college education when you can't hardly get a job with a college education today, and you're going to pay 35% interest on your money to get a worthless college education, it's criminal. Sold as, being humanitarian, helping, underprivileged families get an education. It's a con job. It's a way to enslave the economically challenged and sell them a load of crap, and that their kids need a college education to get ahead in America. You don't. You need some intelligence. You need a work ethic. That's what you need in America to get ahead. Because the people who have that mentality in America are still thriving, even in bad situations, because it's so lacking today. We ran a construction company for years. The hardest part of the job was finding the right crews, because everybody wants big money. Nobody wants to work for it. They want to hang around and have fun and get paid. They don't want to put the work in. Well, that's not how it goes. You get paid and you get the big money when you produce. That's what America was built on. And I'm seeing a little bit of a shift. We're definitely, this awakening is bringing an ascension, raising of the consciousness, a better understanding of our world and how to navigate it as part of this. It's all good, guys. Timing might not be what we want, but the end game is exactly what we want. So don't be discouraged. Lumber futures fade from 2-year high as recovery stalls. This economy is not going to recover. DOJ bombshell: Chinese consulate in San Francisco is harboring an active duty PLA researcher wanted by the FBI. It's not really, we would do the same thing, right? If we had an asset in China that, was maybe compromised, they're going to go to the consulate, right? They're protected there. It's going to be hard for them to get out, but they're protected in the consulate. So this is more gamesmanship. There's definitely a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on with China, jockeying. Wisconsin bank pays above face value for coins amid shortage. This is 100% fabricated. This is 100% about the globalists trying to push a cashless society. Not going to happen. Number one, it's illegal. All these things you're seeing where these companies are refusing cash or refusing to give your correct change back and basically taking the difference, it's trying to force you into that system. Don't fall for it. I'm boycotting, anybody who's demanding cash. It's all part of that global. They want us cashless. They want us using our debit and credit cards so they can track us. They can't track us when we use cash. That's what this is all about. It's that last push. They're going to keep doing what they do until President Trump decides the time is right to take them all down. They're not going to stop fighting until then. Now, they're not going to get anything done. They're not going to change anything. But we can't be surprised that they're trying, right? For one is, they still can't believe that they lost this thing. And trust me, they lost it. 100%. Here's more. Again, the propaganda. Texas suffers record jump in virus deaths. Yeah, what is it, 3 or 4? I mean, trying to hype it up, right? Oh, this is dangerous. You can still die from this thing. It's a joke. It's the flu. Look at the mortality rates. It's not even worth talking about. When has the worldwide economy ever been shut down for the flu? This is 100% about getting President Trump out of office. That's all this is about. Yeah. Yeah. Also, the virus vaccine, don't worry about it. We will never be forced to take vaccines in America. President Trump's not going to allow it. Yeah. Everything they want is shut down. Not going to happen. Okay. Let's see what we got for questions. Okay. Yeah, cognitive dissonance, guys, beware. Roxanne, how you doing? Rhonda, hello. Tessie, what's up? Chrissy, what's up? Yeah, and the other thing is, the other thing that was kind of clear to me is President Trump, there's going to be no second shutdown. The kids are going to be back to school. He's setting the stage for that. Yeah. No jumping off the Trump train. You're in for life. It's like kind of like the mafia. You can't get out. Paris, what's up? Paris, there's no research on carbon-60 and MS, but they've had great results with Alzheimer's, dementia. It can't hurt. I would if I had a relative with MS, I would be giving them and paying for it and having them go through 2 bottles a week. I do instead of 15 mil a day, I do 30 mil a day. Again, there's 0 negative side effects. So with someone like that, that's basically got a death sentence, there's no harm in trying it. Raylyn, how you doing? Yeah, that's Randy is a good point. Hollywood stars and sports heroes are, they used to get the big dollars for endorsements and stuff. I think that's a thing of the past. Because I wouldn't pay an extra penny to watch any professional athlete or movie star. They have sunk their ship. They blew up their golden goose. They've screwed themselves with their satanic pedophilia and their arrogance. Done. $23 today, silver. Rob and Brittany, hello. Pete, what's up? Deborah, what's up? Yeah, hockey's different. Rodeo is different. You're going to see rodeo make a huge jump in popularity because it's everything that the sports hero in America has. It's opposite of everything the sports hero in America has become. You know, cowboys don't get paid unless they compete. There's no guaranteed money being a cowboy. And people are tired of these prima donnas who make 10 million a year and they stub their toe and they don't want to play. Christ, I've competed with broken bones taped up in cast. Yep, we do not need the celebrities. They've contributed to us getting to this point because the don't think that the globalists didn't know what they were doing. They were buying these people off because they wanted to get to that normalcy bias so that if they got us enamored with these celebrities and loved them and everything they did, and then, oh, well, they like satanic pedophilia, they like cannibalism. I mean, Katy Perry's talking about eating human flesh and how good it is in an interview. Katy Perry. Uh, Guess what? Didn't work. Yeah. Bank short on cash, but the economy's okay. Don't worry about the economy. Right. Get your money out of the bank. Crystal, what's up? Buy your Litecoin and silver. Get your extra food, water, medical supplies, ammo. Listen, I don't think this is going worst case scenario when it goes, but you need to be prepared for worst case scenario. That's awesome, BJ. BJ's 18-year-old son and all the friends are just itching to vote for President Trump. That's what I'm saying. He wins in a landslide. I don't care what happens. He can't lose. Roxanne, what's up? Yeah, there's nothing to worry about here, guys. The only it's listen, it's going to take a little bit longer maybe. Like I said, they might arrest Clinton and Obama tonight. So don't don't get discouraged. Keep doing what we do. Red pill and prepare. It means we've got more time to get more people woke up. It's a good thing. Look at the positive side. Look at the silver lining in this. We're going to red pill more people because we've got more time now. Yeah, it's illegal to refuse cash. If you offer, like you're at the gas station, they won't take your cash, you don't have to pay them. I mean, tell them to call the cops. Trust me, that's true. They have to, by law, accept your cash um, to settle debt. And if they won't accept it, you can drive off with a full tank of gas. Yeah. And this is the travesty of this, of all of this propaganda, is what it's doing to like the elderly who, you know, like Rob and Brittany are saying, the grandfather's worried to death. You know, you can't blame him. You know, yeah, we're supposed to be able to trust the media. Right. Jeff, what's up? You're welcome, Deborah. And remember, that's we want to when we see people struggling with this, you know, the fear from the virus, whatever it is, um, you know, there's going to be a lot of people when the satanic pedophilia comes out, when it finally does hit the mainstream, that's going to devastate them. There are going to be a lot of suicides um, especially when the pedophilia comes out. We've got to be ready to help friends, relatives, neighbors. Be on the lookout from people suffering from cognitive dissonance. From now till the end, guys. Jessica, what's up? Stephanie, hello. Yeah, I actually, and all the silver that I bought, um, I never bought anything over the internet. I always went in and paid, well, and paid for it at a dealer and took it home with me. Jerry's getting Jerry and his twin brother Gary are getting some rain. Cornelius, what's up? Yeah, yeah. No ID for cash payments. Nice try. Not going to happen. I don't have my ID with me. Sorry. Yeah, that's the same with me. Randy's talking about not being able to watch movies anymore. I can hardly watch a movie, you know, because most of these stars, we know what they've been doing. I don't have any desire to watch them anymore. Yeah, Mel Gibson is now. I'll watch Mel Gibson's movies because Mel Gibson's a hero in this deal. He was speaking out way before anybody else was. He took a lot of heat, if you remember. Jessica's asking, can you put your Litecoin into your ledger from Coinbase and then transfer the coins to another site from the ledger? Like, well, yeah, you can transfer your coins from your ledger anywhere to any valid address, and you certainly can transfer your coins from Coinbase to Ledger. And it's relatively easy to do. Um, Call me or Kevin if you need help, or Gary. Gary's helping now too. Ian and Stephanie are going to rodeo this weekend. All right. I checked the deck clock this afternoon. It's not running backwards today. Jessica had a couple of bull riders in her family. Yeah, Houston. Houston's a big one. Katy Perry is a weirdo, satanic pedophile. Yeah, the new normal. The new normal is me punching you in your face. That's a new normal. Michelle, what's up? Yep. Prayer and the national anthem. You're not going to get any more American than rodeo, guys. You won't see anybody kneeling. I'll guarantee you one thing. You will never see a cowboy kneeling during the national anthem. Brian wants to know if I rode in Ohio. Not in Ohio. Pretty much everywhere else in the country and Canada, but not Ohio. Jerry grew up on a farm. People thought Deborah's dad looked like Larry Mahan. Yeah, Mahan was a character.